First up, after they traded jibes this weekend, we're asking whose side are you on? Donald Trump or Harry and Meghan? We're taking your calls 0207 862 2222. Then, there's a big one. Is it okay to park outside your neighbour's house? How do you do it? Have you confronted someone for stealing your parking space? I want to hear from you. And after that, we've got a few more stories from the papers and everything else we need to talk about, including the moment a stolen dog, which was reunited with its owners after years apart. At 11:30, the great Vanessa Feltz is in for Storm, and she'll debate whether we should stop spending money on foreign aid. And this is how to get in touch. Calls from landlines may cost up to 16p per minute, plus any call setup fees, and calls from mobiles may cost considerably more. To send us a message, head to Facebook or Twitter and search for Jeremy Vine on 5. Now let's get into our next debate. It's a big one. Who are you backing in the battle between Donald Trump and Harry and Meghan? 0207 862 22 is the number. Trump has said he won't deport Prince Harry from the US amid a legal battle to find out whether the Duke lied on his visa application. But that doesn't mean that Trump is going soft on the Sussexes. The Sussexes. Here is what he said to the New York Post regarding that decision. Let's just have a look at what he said. He says, look, I will leave him alone. I'll leave him alone. He's got enough problems with his wife. She's terrible. I mean... There he is.
I agree.
That's his opinion. That's certainly yours. Then, while speaking at the opening ceremony of his Invictus Games tournament in Canada, Prince Harry made these comments, which some, I suspect many in the media, have taken as a jibe at Trump. Have a listen.
When there is no shortage of crises, no absence of uncertainty, no lack of weak moral character in the world, the values you embody, the way you carry yourselves, not only at the Invictus Games, but each and every day. Your courage, your resilience, your humanity illuminate a path forward for us all.
Ooh, weak moral character. Does that sound like Donald Trump to you, maybe? Do you think the president's criticism of Meghan is uncalled for? Or do you think it's pretty much on the money? I'm going to go to you, Reem, first, because you clearly have views about Meghan. You're on the side of the Donald.
I'll tell you who I'm on the side of, the royal family. And I think that actually, according to some of the remarks that Trump has made, the real reason that he is so upset by Harry and Meghan and the things that they have said is because of how much it's probably hurt the late Queen. I mean, Trump said, I'd say, although she wouldn't show it because she was strong and smart, talking about the late Queen Elizabeth II, but I would imagine that they broke her heart. He was talking about some of the things that Harry and Meghan said when they departed the UK and they moved over to the US. And just ignoring that for a second, what really frustrates me about Harry and Meghan is that they said at the beginning, we just want to live our lives in peace. We want to go and live in California and not be in the public eye. And then they release a Netflix documentary and a book and another documentary, and now she's got a cooking show. They really want to be in the public light. They are hypocrites.
Jonathan, can I just, it's a... Some might say at home, I don't know, I'm going to wait for people to call, but I know a number of people in my family that have very strong views about this. And I say, hang on a second, how can Prince Harry criticise Trump or even tangentially criticise Trump for poor moral character when you write a book about your family, giving away all of those sacred secrets between you and your brother, for instance, and criticise, and cause perhaps emotional distress to the Queen, and sort of leave your duty? Is that moral character?
Well, I think that's a fair point about Prince Harry. But I've got to say on Meghan Markle, I mean, I literally could not care less. I do not understand why everybody gets so worked up about her. Look, I love the Queen. I met the Queen once. It was a huge, it was a wonderful day. I also got to have lunch that day with Kate as well, which was a real thrill when they came to Leicester.
That's part of the point. I mean, when he stands up and talks about moral character,
he has none.
Well, He hasn't. You say he has not?
He hasn't. He literally went out and in this book spare talking about basically airing the family's dirty laundry whilst the Queen was in her 90s. I mean, I'm sorry, but no matter what your view is on, again, I'm sort of with Jonathan on this. I don't care what Harry and Meghan do, but they try and make the media care. They get themselves in the media. They go out on stage. They said at the beginning they didn't want to have, and I've got very strong opinions on this.
No, it's good.
They said at the beginning they didn't want to be in the media, and yet they continuously do so, airing up their dirty laundry, and I can't imagine how much it would have hurt the Queen.
Well, I think we should take a look at how this feud has snowballed. Let's just go and have a quick look at this. I'm absolutely fascinated. There's the Don, there's Meghan, and there's the Prince with slightly more hair at that point. Before she met Harry in 2016, Meghan criticised Trump on a late-night talk show.
Of course, Trump is divisive. Think about just female voters alone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it was in 2012, like, the Republican Party lost the female vote by 12 points. That's a huge number.
Mm-hmm.
And with as misogynistic as Trump is and so vocal about it,
Right.
that's a huge chunk of it.
Well, misogynistic now. In 2022, Trump commented on Meghan and Harry's relationship while speaking to Piers Morgan.
I'm not a fan of Meghan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, and I wasn't right from the beginning.
What did you make
and
of
I
what
think
she and Harry said
I think
to
poor
you?
Harry is being led around by his nose, and I think he's an embarrassment. Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression
I'm
whipped?
familiar with the
I won't
phrase.
use the full expression, but Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen.
And in 2024, he criticised the couple's treatment of late Queen Elizabeth in a chat with Nigel Farage.
And I thought she was treated very disrespectfully
Harry.
by them. Very, very. She, you know, I would say, although she wouldn't show it because she was strong and smart, but I would imagine they broke her heart. The things that they were saying were so bad and so horrible. And she was in her 90s and hearing this stuff. I think they broke her heart.
No,
I think,
it was horrible.
I think they really hurt her very
But if
bad.
he's
They hurt the Queen. I mean, does the Don have a point?
I think he absolutely does. I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the Queen was in her 90s and they came out and aired all of their dirty laundry. I think it's really horrible and really quite nasty and vindictive.
Yeah, at the same time, I mean, Donald Trump, I mean, it is hardly, to say the least, the custodian of moral virtue, some may argue.
I know. I mean, he's not the person to speak on behalf of our monarchy. But I think the broader point is, like, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I remember reading reports of the Prince Harry, documentary when he spoke out and the way he did. It made me feel very uncomfortable, and I'm not sure that it's appropriate to be talking about very personal, private things that have gone on in a family. Every family has fallouts. Every family has issues.
So you're backing the Donald. That's
Well, I'm not. I mean, I'm more just sort of one of these. I just don't like getting sucked into, this sort of anti-Meghan Markle. I don't give a monkeys about Meghan Markle, but people are obsessed with her.
I'm going to go to Gertrude from London. I hope somebody's going to bring up the fact that if this was not Prince Harry and he had not disclosed, and we don't know, on his visa application that he'd taken drugs, which he admits in Spare, that would be something which could get his visa cancelled.
He'd be deported. If he wasn't Prince Harry, he'd be deported. And yet he wants to completely absolve himself of any connection to the royal family. He is getting special treatment because he is a prince.
I think there might be people at home a little bit wincing and perhaps clenching things that are not visible defending Donald Trump. Are you one of them, Gertrude? Are you a defender of the Donald, or are you Team Meghan?
I'm absolutely Team Harry and Meghan, and you have all, not you, but the lady have fallen for all this thing. Harry and Meghan have never said they wanted privacy. They have said they wanted to do the press on their own terms. And that came from when they came in the royal family. Then there is the protocol. Charles first, William next, and then Harry and Meghan. And then there were things like he was not allowed to talk about period poor girls who could
Gertrude, you obviously
afford-
support them. Are you a little bit? You're a little bit disappointed, let's say, when Prince Harry wrote that book about his family.
You have forgotten that Diana, in Andrew Morton's book, she admits to 5 suicide attempts.
Right.
She criticized the royal family, especially the Queen Mother, because this is where Camilla and Charles met for, shall we call it, tea.
Right. So you're Team Meghan. You're Team Meghan all the way, and you seem to be quite cross. You seem to be quite cross with Reem.
Sorry?
You seem to be quite cross with Reem. She seems to be misrepresenting Meghan Markle and Prince
This
Harry.
is also what journalists say. We could get the stories from the palace if we wrote something nice about William and Kate,
Okay,
and not so nice about Harry and Meghan. And that all started when they came back from Australia.
Thank you very much, Gertrude. I hear you. You think that, and there's a lot of people out there that do this, as being motivated by the palace to protect William and Harry. So the worse things get for Meghan and the Duke of Sussex, the better they are for William and Harry.
Look, whatever your view is on Harry and Meghan specifically, I think that you can't defend being quite nasty about the royal family when the Queen was in her 90s. I just think you can't defend that. She was very old, very, very frail. I just remember that image of her during the pandemic at her own husband's funeral. Do you remember that? Sure. Where she was dressed in black and alone. I could just imagine what was going through her mind. Her entire family had fallen apart and she wasn't there to see it get together.
Well, some people might say, many people don't really know what goes on in families. Carly, are you one of those people that holds that view? You're in Gloucestershire. Do you agree with the Donald?
Oh, crikey, no thanks. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
All right, Carla.
I'm really upset that everybody lampoons Harry and Meghan, and this goes on in every family, and I don't think the Queen really. She probably shrugged it off, and, I'm just so fed up with this country, shooting darts at Harry and Meghan. It actually upsets me, really.
Yeah, I hear that, and I wonder why. You're not alone. Sandra, I'm going to give you the last say in Nottinghamshire. We've just heard over there from Carla that she's tired, frankly, at people throwing darts at Harry and Meghan. They can do no right. People either give them their undivided indifference or say, let bygones be bygones. What do you think?
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me on. I just want to say, the lady at the end, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She should get off the panel. You should leave Harry and Meghan alone. Oof. They went to America. They did not say they wanted peace and quiet. How are they going to earn a living? Right. They've got to do something, haven't they?
Maybe
Sandra, wait a second.
They've got to make a living. And
Sandra, you've made your point. Alone. You've made it very, very forcefully, Reem.
Well, maybe Harry and Meghan should leave the royal family alone. I'd say that. I mean, you're saying they need to make a living. Why are they making a living out of criticising the royal family and airing their dirty laundry? That's sort of living I'd like to live by.
Well, I look forward to hearing from you. There'll be people, no doubt, screaming into their television. I suspect I know a few of them.